Hello. Hi, everybody. Um, I'm just back again. I thank you all for um, who has been praying behind the scenes for one to help me get back on 8 o'clock on Fridays. It's been like something I can't explain it, but I want to be here. I want to just continue to be here to talk to you. I didn't change from let's talk about it with my daughters to just talk about it. And now I just want to have just a little talk with you. I'm Miss Dawn for one from Dove's Daughters of Values, Excellence, and Self-Esteem. I am organizer of the nonprofit. Um, and I have been doing this for a while. It's been doing this for over 20 years. But actually, I want to say I have been doing this all my life. So I just want you to know that I'm always having a conversation with someone, and in our conversation, we always talking about something that has to do with relationships or how we handle getting out of relationships or anything like that. So one thing that I want to read just to tell you what a self-esteem checkup. It says people with healthy self-esteem are characteristics by their ability to forgive themselves, and that's a good one because we know we all make mistakes. So we know that we have to try to make sure that we forgive ourselves and move on. And I know that a lot of people tell me that I'm hard on myself, but um, just got to know that when you make a mistake, you have to move on. People also are appreciate their own gifts, talents, and accomplishments, and that's for sure. Because if you are not going to appreciate your own gifts, talents, or accomplishments, who is? Who will? You have to give your own pat on your back. You have to give your own praises. I know that a lot of times we look for others to give us that praise, report, praise. Look at you, you're doing a good job. Struggle with that for a long time as well. But you know what? You have to learn how to say, I'm doing a good job myself. Yes. And then you have they refuse to feed on the negative information about other people. So, yes, a lot of times if you have self esteem, you're not going to be looking and trying to hear nothing else about anybody else. You're going to be like, okay, I got time to take care of myself. Set achievable goals. We talked about that one time before where you want to make sure that you find goals and write goals that definitely fit who you are and how you're going to get there. Um, Accept constructive criticism. Very, very, very sometimes hard, difficult one because sometimes after being criticized, you sensitive to criticism, constructive, and then we know we have destructive criticism. So you want to make sure that um, you start to learn yourself and know who you have in your environment and trust the people around you to give you some constructive criticism. And we have talk positively to themselves. This is people who have self-esteem, who healthy self-esteem characteristics. They talk positive to yourself. You look in that mirror, talk to yourself. Hey, girl, how are you? Judge themselves by sensible standards. And I guess everybody kind of think of judging as kind of a negative word, but no, you can judge yourself. You can judge yourself. Refrain from self-imposed punishment for personal mistakes, defeat, and weaknesses. So, but I just wanted to read that for a minute. I really just wanted to just get on here. What I put, just a little talk or a little talk. My talk. I was just talking to someone, and we were talking about um, this, like how you got away from that relationship that is not good for you. So I was like, what it takes to get away. I think when I put in the title, and just in conversation, sometimes that relationship is not good for you. Um, right now, I was talking about more of a eros relationship, but we know there can be other relationships that's not good for you as well. But I'm sure that some of it can apply when I say eros, like a love relationship. So sometimes we was just talking about how it may take some years to get and break away for someone, especially if you feel like you love them and you feel like you had this tie with them. And we're not going to talk about, we could talk about soul ties, we could talk about emotional ties. Just got this tie with this person, and I was just sharing with her or sharing with my friend, as they were sharing with me, that they were celebrating how they could just talk to this person again and now not feel like, just feeling like I need them or I got to run out with them. And it took some time. Sometimes it takes some time. You want to celebrate your minor steps. I'm want to share, and I remember, and everybody can't do this, but I remember changing back then, and I'm showing my age, but changing my phone number like 5 times in 1 year just to make sure that person couldn't get to me through the phone, because at the time, I was weak and I felt like, if they could get to me, they would um, continue to call, and I would be breaking down and get weak again. So sometimes it takes, like today, you could just take your cell phone, you can block the number. So I want to just tell you that if that's what you need to do, you can block the number. You can not do what I did in one instance. Now, remind you, I was single for in my the 30s, and then I was married for like 17 years, and then I'm I'm single again. And I so these things is not only something that I've done, but it's something that I have to continue to do. You do not want to get yoked up with the wrong person again. You know how it feels to be with the wrong person. This is domestic violence month. It is mental health month, and also we're going to give woo to cancer survivors. So, you know, it's just the strength that has to be there for all of it, for all three. When you are in the middle of dealing with something that doesn't cause you peace in your mind, you're in a situation with someone that you constantly are crying, and you just depressed, or you constantly fussing, or you just feel low in yourself. It takes some strength. It takes strength in all three of those areas that we celebrate people this month. But it takes strength to get out of a bad relationship, and it may not happen overnight neither. And don't do what I have done at one point. I'm telling you, I have literally, packed up and moved out the state. So I have to tell you that I was feeling so weak in the moment that I didn't know what else to do. I just was frustrated with myself that, I will allow, of course, this is pre the marriage, but I will allow myself to continue to um, want to be with someone who really just didn't want to have that relationship with me. And they willing to come back for other things, and we know what we talking about. They are willing. They're if you allow someone, they said allow people to treat you the way, um, teach people to treat you how you want to be treated, and that you allow people to treat you a certain way. And when you're weak, sometimes ladies and men and whatever, you have a tendency to uh, encourage a relationship with you that is not good. And some, like I said, some just, relationships is just simply sexual, is not nothing else there, and you trying to build on something that is not there, that someone or some that is not trying to be a part of your life. And so, there's methods. I want you, when you all watch this, because a lot of times I see people watch later, but if you can, let's put in the chat. I don't have a lot of followers, so we just have to share, and maybe somebody share it to somebody that needs the help. But put in the chat, what did you do to get away from that toxic relationship, that relationship that was no longer good for you? And even if the person treats you good, but it's something that makes you don't really feel good about it, what do you do? What actions should someone take to get out? Now, we're not talking about domestic violence, because it's a lot, even though it's domestic violence month. There's a lot of safety issues with just, when a person needs to escape that relationship. So they would need probably more professional counseling about that. But what about that just relationship that you just been with him, is not good? I had read something I think I said it last time, where the woman was married to a man, and her husband, and he was unfaithful with her for over, I think, 20 years. And then when she finally left him, he was like telling his kids, their adult kids, I left your mom. Like, we was talking, I think I was talking about that with the ego. But it takes strength. It takes a lot of work. So like I said, you can don't do you live in your house, you can't just back up. But you don't have to open the door. You don't have to open the door if he comes by. You don't have to entertain conversation. When, like I said, when you get to the part where you're strong and you have the strength, then you can, that person's not going to affect you like they did before. That they're not going to be able to draw you in. That you're not, you sitting there saying, I'm just going to say no, to anything, like just even going out. And then the next thing, it leads to the next thing. Then the next thing, you're back into the dysfunction that you were in before. So you want to always, like, protect yourself, and then measure yourself and make sure that you are at a place of strength before you try to get back in the same circle, be close in proximity with the person, having verbal conversation. If it's okay when you get to a place where that's no longer, the weakness is no longer there. So just put in the chat, when, like I said, and when you come back and you look at it, if you're looking at it later, what did you do? How did you get out the relationship? How did you feel how long did it take you? I know, like, for myself, it was years. And then I still, like I said, sometimes we put stuff in our head and in our mind, and it still was time that I was like, oh my gosh, thinking that, this would change and that they would commit, and just put things all in your head, and it's not happening. They're not committing, it's not happening. So, ladies, let's help each other out. Most importantly, when you watch, if you know that you can help somebody else. A lot of times too, I think that you have to realize that you get some help sometimes when you're weak. Sometimes there's times when you get help from somebody else, from the Lord. You get help from your friends. You get help when people step in and help you make it through that transition. You can do some tangible things. You can start to learn how to take yourself out, take yourself on a trip, go on a visit a friend. Just do whatever it takes. So get some suggestions, get some stories, share your story with uh, the panel, with the people that may watch. And even if they just know that this is something that can be seen later down the line, and we never know where it's going to end up at. But we really, really want it to be effective, to hopefully end up in someone else's hand, someone that need it. This is Dove's Daughters of Values, Excellence, and Self-Esteem. I am so glad that I had the time to jump on. and to be able to say something. I don't know who's on, but I thank you for being on. I cannot see if you made a comment. Oh my goodness. But I'm going to learn how to look better because when I put my phone on, the phone gives a feedback. So, anyway, I'll see your comment afterwards. So, just when like I said, it's just a little talk to you. Share it with your young girls, which I just pray for the young women, pray for the young men. It's real challenging out here at times now because of so many other things. So and just trying to encourage them to not get yoked up with the wrong person. Today is dangerous, so dangerous when you then connected yourself to somebody that is not right for you. So you want to be real cautious before you even enter into uh, that type of relationship with somebody. Okay, so all right, I'm going to play this and I'll get back with you on Fridays at 8. Next Friday is the fellowship. I will probably post where we can fellowship privately on Zoom for those who like to talk privately. I know, just get together and fellowship by just talking to each other, encouraging each other. All right, thank you. Thank you for watching. All righty, talk to you later. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.